What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today I am actually reviewing regular nail polish from the brand Mini Macaron, which is normally a gel polish brand. Now I've reviewed their gels a few times on my channel before. I'm a big fan. They have this whole one-step system, and I believe they recently came out with these nail polishes that instead of being gels that cure under a lamp, they actually dry by air, and I was really curious to try them out, so I decided I would swatch and review them for you. So these polishes have a really interesting formula. They're listed as being 21 free, so that means they are free of 21 potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They're vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients. They're cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. They also have an 85% plant-based formula, and they include ingredients like blueberry, spinach, and avocado, which I thought was really interesting. And they're actually listed as lasting for up to 6 days without top coat, which I thought was another little interesting tidbit, especially because their gel formula is a one-step system, so it doesn't require top coat, but they do have a regular top coat as well, so that one does dry by air and it does make the polishes last longer. So Mini Macaron actually has a lot of colors available in their regular polish formula, but I did get 8 of them to try out, just a little sampling, mostly cream finishes. So let me show you the swatches of those, and then we can talk a little bit more about my thoughts on them, pricing, availability, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as always, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the Orly Bonder base coat, and I do want to make a note about these bottles. They do have caps that have little macarons on them, but I actually found them to be really easy to paint with. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But yeah, now let's dive into the colors. This first one is ultraviolet, and this one is a medium purple cream shade. I would actually call this more of a lavender color because it's definitely more on the cool side, but this was my first application of Mini Macaron regular nail polish, and I have to say I was really impressed. Aside from the color, which obviously I love as a purple nail polish lover, it was really easy to apply. It was very smooth. It gave me perfect opacity in 2 coats, and it was also pretty self-leveling. Next up we have the shade Fleur Blue, and this one is a light blue cream shade, and I actually was familiar with this color already because, fun fact, I believe this is actually the first color of Mini Macaron that I tried in gel form. So the majority of the colors that I reviewed here are also available as gels. I don't think all of them are, but I'm pretty sure most of them are. But yeah, I already knew this was a gorgeous color. I will say the formula on this one was a little bit more sheer. It didn't quite get there in 2 coats, so I did need 3 for full opacity, which was a little bit of a disappointment, but I do think that the end result is gorgeous, and again, it was very nice and self-leveling. And then we have the shade Matcha Latte, which is a really beautiful light yellow undertoned green cream. Again, really amazing formula. This one just applied so smoothly, and I love this type of color. It's just something that I've really been gravitating towards recently, and I actually really enjoyed that this one was a little bit brighter and more saturated, and also possibly a tiny bit more yellow toned than I'm used to seeing for the more matcha style colors. But again, really loved it. Perfect opacity in 2 coats, and I feel like this I could really make work for any time of year because looking at it, it feels like a summer color, but I feel like this would be such a fun Christmassy type of green to introduce as well. And then we have the shade Mango. This one is a bright orange cream shade, and this was a really interesting one with application because when I was first applying it, I thought it was really opaque, but as I was going over it a little bit more, I felt like it seemed less opaque, and I think that's because the brush of these bottles is a little bit stiffer than I'm used to, so if I overwork it, it ends up being a little bit less opaque. But I noticed that as it dried, it did end up leveling out on my nails pretty nicely, so I ended up being fine with 2 coats, but I do think that it's something to watch out for. Moving on, we have the shade Cherry Red, which is exactly what it sounds like, a cherry red polish, and this one has more of a jelly-like formula, but it has that red jelly formula where it's just really nice opacity, so I ended up actually covering up my visible nail line in the first coat, but I did do second just to show you what what that looked like, and I would probably wear this as a 2-coater. It's a really stunning, super vibrant red. It's got a little bit of that cool undertone to it, and for whatever reason, I have been in such a red cream mood lately, so I'm really excited to have this one. It just felt like really impressive quality. So I've shared lots of cream so far, but we did have one sheer jelly polish in the collection. This one is called Blush, and this one's a really beautiful blush toned sheer neutral kind of shade. So in the first coat, it's just a very light wash of color. I almost feel like it's a nail brightener in that opacity, which I really like, but I also wanted to try it in 2 coats, and that gave a little bit more of that pinky tone on my nails while still showing through to that visible nail line really nicely. I thought this was gorgeous in 2 as well. And then when I applied it in 3 coats, I felt like that's where I got the most kind of cloudiness of that pinky color. It almost reminded me of a polygel manicure, but it was on my natural nails. So I thought that was really stunning. I love sheer shades like this where they're not patchy, so you can choose how opaque you want them to look on your nail. I think it looks gorgeous whatever way. And then we've got the shade Lily Rose, which is a super light, almost white cream shade, but it actually has a little bit of this pinky tone going through it. So it's actually a really stunning color. It feels like the type of white shade that you can wear if you don't want to wear actual white on your nails because it might be too stark, because this way you get just that little touch of pink in there. And the formula of this one really impressed me. I actually ended up getting full coverage in 2 coats on my nail length, which I thought was surprising considering some of the darker shades did require a little bit more opacity. So very pleased with that. I always love seeing a lighter shade that's more opaque like this, but still in a good formula. And then last but not least, we have the shade Silver Disco, which is a silver glitter nail polish. And I thought this one was really fun. At first I thought it was a topper, but when I did try it as a topper, it was just way too opaque, so I applied it on its own. And I have to say, I don't think my camera does this one justice. I feel like on camera it looks kind of patchy and like it's not a full coverage polish, but that's just because it was super reflective. So what looks like a bare patch in the cuticle area is actually me reflecting in the silver. So it actually gave me really nice coverage in 2 coats. I thought it was super gorgeous and festive and really perfect for any special occasion. So here are all of the shades that I reviewed, and honestly looking at them, these feel so Mini Macaron to me. I think just because I own so many of these colors in the gel version, but as a person who tends to prefer regular nail polish over gel, I'm just really excited to see them dip their toes, or I guess their fingernails, into regular nail polish formulas, and I'm really impressed with what I've tried so far. I think that they were really nice. The application was very smooth and easy. The brush was easy to use in terms of that macaron lid. It was actually really nice to have a round brush handle to hold onto with application. It made it a little bit steadier in my opinion, so I really did enjoy that. But like I said, the brush was a little bit stiff, so I had to be careful not to overwork the polishes, because at that point I would have potentially messed them up a little bit and maybe had to use extra coats. But I did find that it was really easy to get used to the formula and the brush, and I don't know, overall I think I'm really impressed. So yeah, let's talk about it a little bit more. So yeah, those are the polishes, and I have to say overall I did enjoy these. Like I said, I am a really big fan of their gel formula, and I feel like for the most part their regular polish formula kind of applied and felt the same. The colors are really nice. They're basic mainstream kind of polishes, but they're also really good staples to have in your collection, so I did appreciate that. And I did think that the opacity on these was really nice. They applied smoothly. They felt like a good quality formula. My biggest complaint on these would have to be the brush though. It was just a little bit stiff for me. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with the macaron shaped lid at all. In fact, the grip was pretty nice to apply with, but the brushes themselves were a little bit more stiff than usual. So that meant that if I pushed down too hard, it kind of pulled away a little bit of the polish that was already drying at my cuticle area. But as I was applying, I did get more used to that. So it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't something that I totally loved. But yeah, like I said, overall, I did enjoy these. I think that they're really nice formulas. I think the colors are great. And I do think that the bottles are really cute. I think overall, Mini Macaron as a brand is just very Instagrammable. Everything that they make is just very cutesy and fun. And I think that this regular polish collection kind of expanded on that. So I did really enjoy it. So now let's get into pricing and availability. All of these polishes come in 10 milliliter bottles. Like I said, they do have a wide flat brush that has a rounded tip, and they do have the macaron macaron shaped lid. The brand is available at a few drugstores. I believe they're available at Target and Ulta. However, at this time, it looks like their regular nail polish line is exclusive to the Mini Macaron website, and there they retail for $10 USD each. But I do have a discount code for the Mini Macaron website, so if you use the code KELLYM15, you can get 15% off your order, and that does also include their gel polish sets and all of their other fun things. They do actually sell this specific set of the 8 polishes plus the regular top coat, and that retails for a discounted rate of $68 USD. So I'm going to link everything down in the description. You can check them out if you're interested, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think of Mini Macaron as a brand? What do you think of their regular polishes? Would you try them? Which color is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. And if you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. I love you all, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's Would You Rather is an interesting one. It's would you rather fulfill your biggest wish or resolve your biggest regret? And I feel like I've talked about regrets a little bit in fun facts in the past before, but one thing that I always say about regrets is I try not to have them. Obviously, I don't think anybody wants to have regrets, but one thing that I always tell myself is anything that happens that doesn't go the way that I want to has still led me to the place that I am at now, and I wouldn't want to change that. So for me, I think it would have to be fulfilling my biggest wish, because all of the regrets and all of the things that have happened in my life have led me to the point where I am now, where I'm very happy. So yeah, I would choose to fulfill my biggest wish. I don't want to go back in time and change anything and potentially ruin what I have now. Although if you had asked me this maybe a decade ago, I would probably have changed a lot. But yeah, I think now I'm at a point where I'm happy with the decisions that I've made and the lessons that I've learned to get to the point where I am now. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what your answer would be. So let me know in the comments. We can chat about it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.